We're the largest snacking company in the world.
That everyone in the business is a leader and have a role to play.
So it just naturally made sense that, my career would progress.
And I wish someone had told me when I was in high school that that was an option.
It's all about maintaining relationships and
have such a wide array of academic backgrounds in the CCAS.
A strong network of women here to help you.
In the coming years, Australia's naval shipbuilding industry is going to need thousands of people with lots of different skills to work in a wide range of roles, from city-based office roles to hands-on positions in the shipyards. Today, we're lucky enough to have the opportunity to hear from Deepika, who is working in the industry with Naval Group Australia. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey everyone.
So, what has been your career path so far? Once you left high school, what happened and was it what you're expecting?
Yeah, sure thing. So from high school, I went straight into a Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering at Adelaide Uni. And so I spent 4 years there studying, and I did a couple of internships while I was there, one in a metallurgy lab doing materials testing, another one doing crash testing. And then I went on to do an internship at an engineering consultancy working on reverse osmosis technical feasibility assessments. Wow. And I got a job with them, a grad position. And then I spent 3 years working there on different projects. So they were a defence consultancy, but I worked mostly in the energy and transport sectors of their business. So I did loads and control and fatigue assessments for wind turbines, as well as risk assessments and functional safety assessments for the Air Force, as well as for the Melbourne Metro Tunnel project.
Yep.
And then 5 months ago, I joined on with Naval Group, and I've been working here as a mobility control systems engineer since then.
Wow, you've been busy. So was there someone in particular that influenced you, or what was it that actually influenced you to go down this career path once you left high school? Did you always sort of know this is what you wanted to do?
No, I never actually thought of engineering as a career pathway, but I knew I loved maths and working with other people in a team. So I got some advice that it would be good to try engineering, and if you don't like it, then you can always switch off into a science degree or something like that and go down the academic path if it's not for you. So I tried engineering and I found out that I really enjoyed it. And then through my internships, I realised I really loved the hands-on aspect and actually getting to solve some problems that matter now. And then decided to stick with it.
Yeah, awesome. So obviously maths at high school was a subject that helped you prepare you for your role now. What else would you say that you studied at high school has helped you along your way?
I think probably outdoor ed and some of those team-based subjects definitely helped. But of course, chemistry, physics, maths, English, languages, especially if you want to work overseas as an engineer, getting those languages and getting the physics and chemistry and maths down pat is really important and helpful.
Yeah, for sure. And then what sort of personal attributes do you think you possess that help you along your way as well?
For me personally, I'm a very interested and motivated engineer. So I think that helps because it gives you that drive to keep trying new things and making sure you're always doing something interesting. And then that shows up in your work as, oh, this person's trying, so let's give them this opportunity. Let's see if they want to do this. So it's always good to come with that attitude. And then I think also I try hard to make sure that I'm a good communicator. And that definitely helps because it's so easy to have misunderstandings. So working on your communication skills and just enjoying being with other people is also something that I think makes it a good job for me.
What do you love most about your role? Like, what gives you the most satisfaction?
For me, I really love the calculation side of things. So this type of role means that you actually get to do a lot of analysis, actually do some maths and science and really work with your brain. And I really enjoy that. And then there's always, in this type of role, you have to interact with other teams because your small part of the design affects lots of different people. So you're obliged to go and talk to other people in the company, which means you get to meet all of these people that have different roles and learn about that and actually do good teamwork. So they're the two things that I like about it.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds awesome. Now, have you got sort of a greatest achievement or even a greatest challenge that you've come across so far in your career?
Yeah, so for me, my biggest challenge as well as my greatest achievement was getting myself into this team that was working on wind turbine control systems in the UK. And I would say it was my biggest challenge because it really taught me that you have to set a goal and then convince someone that that's a worthwhile goal for them to help you work towards. So I knew that I wanted to work in this team, but it was going to cost the business a bit of money as well as a little bit of risk in terms of, is this some business stream that we actually want to go down? So it was challenging in that I had to write a business case that proved how this was going to be useful to the business as well as useful to me. And one piece of advice my boss gave me that was really helpful is, if you write a proposal to get yourself something and someone says no, ask them why. And then when they tell you why, you can fix those points and resubmit. And if they say no again, they'll have some more reasons for why not. But once you've eventually solved all of those reasons, number one, they know you really are keen. And number two, you've honed down exactly what you want and you're more likely to actually get it. So don't give up on something that you want just because someone said no the first time.
Yeah, definitely. And you've learnt along the way too, you know, different points of view that I guess maybe you hadn't taken into account, and it all makes the end project like that much better. But
Yeah.
that would have been a big deal, like writing the proposal and saying, you know, these are my thoughts and I really want you to take them on. And then so you ended up winning that proposal, like they ended up following your suggestions. Is that what happened?
Yeah, definitely. And then through that, I learned all of these things about how to sort of deal in the business world that I never knew before, and also showed just how keen I was. So we actually got to do these projects that were genuinely really cool.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you put yourself out there, you know, like, and not being frightened to, you know, speak your mind and speak up. And I think a lot of young people today, you know, sort of want to sit back and just listen, but you know, your point of view matters, and if you just put yourself out there, you never know where it can take you. So
yeah, exactly. And yeah, people are keen when you're keen. It makes them happy, you know. If you're interested, they also become interested.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to students out there who are listening then, that are still in high school and they're thinking, okay, now what? And you know, what advice would you give them?
I would say look at engineering as an opportunity. I think we all know there's certain professions that we all see a lot. You know, we have teachers, so we know what's involved there. We do maths and science, so we know what you're going to be doing if you enroll in a maths and science degree. And engineering is a little bit out there. So I would say, if you've got a work experience opportunity, try an engineering firm and see if it's of interest. And consider it as an option if you're interested in calculations or if you're interested in the leadership pathway, because it's one of those things where it really shows you what's out there in the world. You get a chance to look at different strategies and different economic profiles that different governments have. And so you don't have to even work as an engineer. You can become a business person, you can become a venture capitalist, you can become an engineer. And it's a really rewarding career.
Yeah.
I've done the engineering stream, and I really enjoy it. And I think there's a lot of opportunities there that people probably aren't aware of because they haven't met an engineer.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so what about Naval Group Australia? Can you tell us a bit about them and what is it that you actually do? So you're currently on a task of building these new submarines. Which sounds pretty cool. So who are you building them for? How does it all work? And can you tell us a bit about Naval Group Australia?
Yeah, definitely. So at the moment, we have submarines. The Australian Navy has submarines that they're operating, but they're becoming, or they're getting close to the end of their life. So the government went out to tender to find a company that was suitable for designing the new submarines, and they chose Naval Group to do that. So Naval Group's a French company who's been building submarines for many hundreds of years and building ships for many hundreds of years. So they've got a wealth of knowledge. and they're transferring that to Australia. So we have this program where it's called the Transfer of Technology Program, where we're getting all of this French expertise and then bringing that to Australia in terms of building these submarines in Australia, getting Australian engineers to do that design work, and eventually build a fleet of 12 submarines for the Australian Navy to use for their missions. It's
pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool,
isn't it? Yeah, sounds awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that we've inspired some more young people out there to consider a career in engineering, and in particular with Naval Group Australia, because I know over the next few years there are so many roles going to be coming up in shipbuilding, and you're going to be there front and center by the sounds of things. So we really appreciate your time today, and good luck with everything.
No, thanks very much, Rebecca. Nice to meet you.
The Naval Shipbuilding College can help turn your interests into a career through the Workforce Register. What this means is that they'll set up a free chat with one of the team, and they'll speak to you about what you're interested in, what your favourite subjects are and your hobbies, and then they'll place you in a career path by giving you some advice on things like jobs you'd be suited to, and you'll also get a good idea on the subject choices that you'll need and the referrals into courses after school. They'll then keep in touch with you throughout the journey, and then when you're qualified, they'll gain access into their jobs portal, which connects them with employment opportunities across the enterprise. Students of any year level can join the register via the website.